Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time there lived a king and a queen in a faraway land. The queen had wanted a child for a very long time but couldn't have one, and finally their wish was granted. A daughter was born, and they called her Aurora. A king and a queen were celebrating for their baby's birth. The king also invited his good friend, King Hubert, to the feast and three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. He hoped that each would give the princess a good gift. King Hubert had brought his young son Philip. The king agreed that someday Hubert's son, Prince Philip, and Aurora would be married. Prince Philip brought gifts to his future bride. Suddenly, before the Merryweather could speak, the castle door flew open. It was the evil witch named Maleficent. Then Maleficent came out from the fog. Maleficent was also a fairy. She was furious because she wasn't invited to the feast. Immediately, the fairies protect the cradle. Maleficent said in the crowd to King Stephen and the Queen, "Listen well, all of you. The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, beloved by all who know her. But before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die. Ha 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 ha." But Merryweather still had gifts to give, so she said,
"Sweet princess, if through this wicked witch's trick a spindle should your finger prick, a ray of hope there still may be in this. The gift I give at thee, not in death, but just in sleep the faithful prophecy you'll keep. And from this slumber you shall wake when true love's kiss the spell shall break."
King Stephen feared the witch curse, so the good fairies hatched a plan. They would take Aurora to live with them, deep in the woods, safe from Maleficent. The king and queen agreed with heavy heart. Prince Philip came when he heard Briarrose singing. He jumped from his horse and reached out to take her hand. Briarrose was surprised. Philip said, I'm fully sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. But don't you remember? We've met before. We have? Briarrose said. Then Prince Philip said, Of course, you said so yourself, once upon a dream. Prince Philip and Princess Briarrose dancing. Suddenly they stopped dancing, while the prince asked, What is the woman's name, and thought she was not a princess. They do not know each other. Princess Aurora leaves the princess and says that they will meet at the cottage in the glen. In a flash of light, Aurora touches the spindle. Just this moment, the fairies appear in the door. With sarcastic tone, Maleficent said, You poor simple fools, thinking you could defeat me. Me, the mistress of all evil. Well, here's your precious princess. Maleficent disappears and laughing. The fairies start crying over Aurora's motionless body. Prince Philip at the cottage. He knocked on the door and he get in, and he's surprised by Maleficent. Maleficent captured Philip and chained him deep on her dungeon. But the good fairies had other plans for him. They melted the prince's chain, and they armed him with the shield of virtue and the sword of truth. Then they sent him to the palace to awaken the princess. When the Maleficent saw Philip escaping, Maleficent was changed into a monstrous dragon to stop him. Prince Philip attacked the Maleficent with his sword. During Prince Philip's attack, Maleficent said, Now you deal with me, old prince, and all the powers of hell. The fairies combined their magic on the sword. With his strength, Philip drove the sword at the dragon, which hit deadly and collapsed. Then Maleficent was no more. Prince Philip raced to the tower where he loved sleeping. Finally, Prince Philip kissed Aurora. Aurora's eyes slowly opened. The king and queen planned for the prince and princess wedding, and they lived happily.